Soul fam, what's up? What it do? Welcome to K&M Witchery or Readings by K&M. That's me. What's up? I am Kat Nicoletta Monroe, for those of you who may not know. And this is a pick a card for you, designed in and around money and abundance, perhaps maybe some value blocks, money blocks, anything that you pretty much need to hear to help you with your overall career. And anything else that you might need. As always, if you don't know, I'm an intuitive reader, so I really don't know exactly what it is to expect. I had recorded this entire pick a card and an extended yesterday, spent hours and hours and hours only to realize that I had recorded on the wrong settings, and so everything had to be deleted. So that was fun, but that's okay. Perhaps maybe it just wasn't meant to be. And that's cool. So I've reshuffled, and yeah, we're gonna just pick out some brand new messages, whatever it is that y'all need to hear. I hope that it's going to be really well received. As always, my readings are intended to optimize your healing, clarity, and overall spiritual evolution. So if that rings your bell, go ahead and ring mine, okay? Subscribe, like, comments, do all of the YouTubey things. It really helps me know that y'all resonate, and of course keeps me coming back. So yeah, help me help y'all. There's going to be no extended this round just because I really want to get a reading out to y'all. So there's going to be another pick a card following this in about like what's next in love or something along those lines. I don't know. We'll see. But you can definitely expect that in the next few days. And if you do have any recommendations for any other types of pick a cards and readings in general, let me know. I'd love to hear about your ideas. This one was actually recommended over on my K&M Witchery Instagram channel when I asked my lovely community on there. So for like the 3 or 4 of y'all that wanted a career focused money value type of a reading, here it is, babes. Asking you shall receive. So without further ado, let's just jump into some readings for you. We have pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. Listen to your gut on this one, okay? Because behind one of these piles lie the answers that you are seeking today. Perhaps maybe you're also hearing a number or 2 or even all 3 just replaying in that wonderful mind of yours, or you cannot take your eyes off of a pile or more, because you can absolutely resonate with more than just one. However it is, trust your intuition. Scroll down below, get into those chapters and timestamps, and I'll see y'all at your reading. Hey, what's up? Pile number 1. Thank you so much for being here today. Let's get you the messages that you are seeking and needing today in and around your career, potential money blocks, and just overall value. So let's just dive on it. I think there's no introduction needed. Let's see what's good for you. All right, so you guys picked the Knight of Cups as your overall energy. So this is telling me that y'all are really looking to follow your heart towards a potential new direction. I also heard emotion, so you can literally just feel so fed up with your current existence and thus are looking to move forward into a brand new direction, and or you're getting a career that's focused in and around perhaps maybe emotional regulation. Could be forms of like therapy, Reiki, anything in the occult really. Yeah, I don't know. What else am I getting here? Y'all are really just trusting your gut. Feeling really intuitively pulled to start something new. If you already have some sort of business or like a side gig, whatever it may be, you can be feeling really pulled to maybe try something new, go in a little bit of a different direction, maybe get a new accreditation, some form of learning potentially as well. But you're kind of just like feeling your way through. There's a lot of things about feeling here for y'all, obviously. I mean, these are cups, right? So we're looking at the emotional body. And yet you're steadfastly moving forward because this is the Knight. Now, this Knight, although not the absolute slowest, is quite slow. So, as I sip my coffee at like 10 p.m., just know that there's no real permanence in your actions at this time, okay? You're allowed to change your mind. You're allowed to up level. You're allowed to do something new and something different. Interesting intuitive messages coming through right now. You may foresee a little bit of like an obstacle in your way, like there is something that you have to, in a way, endure, overcome. Again, I'm kind of feeling that y'all might be thinking about going back to school or something. Or it's also a matter of really trusting your spiritual team, that they're really lighting the way. And so this is a message here today to say, yeah, like go forth, go do the damn thing, you know? Like now is the time. You've been feeling it bubble up for quite a while. And so why not start now? Let's see what other two cards y'all have for yourself. First up is, let us believe faithfully that our dreams are worthy of any struggle, and that is our time to free ourselves and rise to glory. I am giggling because, like, what did I just say? So despite any obstacles that may be foreseen in the way, believe and have faith in your dreams, your intuition, your desires. Know that they are no coinkydink. Okay, your purpose here is designed intricately based on your talents, your values, your overall sense of happiness. And we all define happiness differently. So following your heart could perhaps maybe mean that you are to move a little bit more of like a different direction than perhaps had once been recommended to you, or how you started off one way and now you're kind of shifting directions and you're going a little bit of a different way. How does that resonate with y'all? Let me know in the comments down below because we're only getting started. Next one we have, I remember it always, fear wins or freedom wins, and I choose freedom. Yes. Okay. So, I am kind of getting a little bit of a feeling that like perhaps maybe once upon a time y'all felt really stuck in your circumstances. I just heard the Matrix. So you could be really breaking out of the quote unquote 3D, the 9-to-5 life, really wanting to take control of your life and of your destiny. I mean, ultimately when it comes to money, at least personally speaking, it's to be able to design your life the way that it is that you want to live it. To not wait until you're 65 plus to retire and enjoy life for the 10 years that you may possibly have, but to start now. And of course, if you are in your 60s and 70s tuning in right now, what's up? Like, this is that time for you to reclaim that rightful freedom and take more so control over how it is that you want to spend your time, how you want to accumulate your abundance, your finances. I love this for you. And the simple fact that it says, I choose freedom. Yes. Like, I don't even have to sit here and try to convince y'all to follow your heart. I think that you've already started. So what do you need? What does my pile number one need? Oh, no. Answers. Duh. Okay. Let's reshuffle this one more time. All right, we have inspiration. Okay, I just heard I got that. Yeah, you do. What else? What's my pile number one need right now? I heard no. Love is out here. That's really pretty. We'll leave this out here anyways. I heard one more. Pile number one, what do you need? I heard have faith. I did also hear stop. Interesting. Okay. Spirit's toying with me right now. This could honestly be even me channeling into your energy right now. It's really best if you ground yourself, get into your body, okay? I understand that When you are speaking to your emotional body, you're not thinking logically, because those are two completely different components of our brain, right? But inspiration lies in the soul. It's in spirit. It is within, right? So we're looking at the lower half of our chakras in order to then create. I love that her hand is also glowing there too. So it's about taking the right action steps and accumulating all of this energy that lives within you, and especially within your heart, right? Like we're following our heart and making something out of it, making it a reality. So what it is that you need right now is to really trust and have faith in what lies within y'all. And I think that's beautiful. But again, it's illogical. A lot of people may not understand, because I'm really picking that up. Some of like the fear could very well be people like your family, for example. They had a type of expectation or recommendation for you on how to lead your life. Well, this is how it's always been done, and this is how you should do it. But hey, this is the age of Aquarius right now, Oker. Times have long changed, and now it's about really truly standing in our authenticity and so confidently standing within our power and creating the change that we wish to see in the world. And the world doesn't have to mean like the entire globe, but your world, your perspective, your family, your society, the people that you have the ability to touch, whether it be through online and social media, or again, within just your own home. However it is that you are pulled, there's something here that you're really meant to create that will allow people to perhaps maybe love themselves and inspire people. Perhaps I was asking the wrong question as I was shuffling in. It's less about what it is that you need and more about what other people need from you that you are able to provide. Let us believe faithfully that our dreams are worthy of any struggle. Ooh, I love that. Let's pull some tarot in and get some more insight here. What does my pile number one need to know about their career? We have the Knight of Wands. Oh, it's time to move now, okay? We got another Knight up in here telling you to move, telling you to go really trust this inspiration that you have that is like blossoming within you and do something with it. Seriously. Less thinking, more doing. Less feeling, more action. Knights are very action oriented. Okay? So we have love with the cups and the love here. We have inspiration with the wands and this passion here. And it's a matter of like driving yourself forward now. Okay? I just keep hearing like the time is now for y'all. What does my pal number one need to know? Career, value, money blocks, anything that you got. Okay. The Queen of Cups. Okay. Y'all can be Knight of Swords out here too. Oh my gosh, this is so cute. Okay. I have like no idea how to like set up my cards, but anyways. Queen of Cups with another Knight. If you get the fourth Knight out here, y'all, if you don't start like a minute ago, you will be really disappointing yourself. You are likely incredibly intuitive and you hold the power in your hand. I literally just touched my hand to my heart right now. Perhaps maybe y'all do some Reiki or something. Whatever it is that you do, even if it's like writing, because I've got like the Knight of Swords here, right? So you could be really using your words to help change other people's reality. And in doing so with love in your heart, again, you're here to create change. What is with my camera? Oh my goodness. You would think that it's Mercury in retrograde right now, but like it isn't. Anyways, okay. Humble yourself. Yeah, okay. So you could be like really annoyed and frustrated with like everyday things and like technology and like, you know, just things not exactly like working out to like your ideal perfected visions. Interesting. But it's really less about that, soul fam. It's got to be less about that. It's fear versus faith can be really confusing at times because everything is truly felt within us, and it's illogical because it's the unconscious mind that we are channeling through. And yet, through faith, we find more peaceful outcomes. There's a deep trust and knowing that every step we take, it's leading us towards the direction that we are truly meant to be. And you're allowed to quiver along the way. And yet, bravely, with these knights out here, choosing to pursue despite the fears, the anxieties, the naysays, the potential, I think, okay, without sugarcoating it too much, there's probably going to be some people that you are going to go like disappoint. I almost fumbled my words there because it's difficult for me to say that. It's like, this is something that you don't want to happen, my beautiful people pleasers. Sometimes it ain't about what our family and friends gotta say, but what you can do for yourself and thus for everybody around you. I think that the support that you have around you is in fact supportive, and yet it's limited to their capacity to understand your vision, to understand this intuitive pull that you have. And so it's uncomfortable to be misunderstood. And yet, listen, take it from me, it is so freaking worth it. Because greatness is often misconstrued as crazy. But that's because it's something brand new. And so I say it again, that like the people, the family, the friends, the colleagues, whoever around you may be offering unsolicited advice, or perhaps even you're asking for their opinions, but they're not really resonating with you. Like you're just going like, yeah, I hear you, but like, I think you're wrong. And instead they're leaving you feeling more depleted as opposed to like with love, you know? And here we come in with a value block. And I'm strategically choosing my words instead of saying a money block, because our external reality reflects our internal state. And so when we believe that there are limitations and blocks, that's exactly what it is that we're going to perceive. We're going to limit our ability to receive, right? And so when you want to do something new, something that other people may not fully understand, you could just be kind of like wasting your energy on trying to explain yourself, albeit even like prove them wrong, so much so that like you're not actually taking the action steps that are required right now. Or perhaps maybe you haven't for a really long time, and this is a really nice confirmation message to be like, damn, like, yeah, I'm on the right path, and action is a good thing, right? And that's the other thing about manifestation in general. It's so much less about like writing down what it is that we desire in our lives and, you know, burning it or like burying it or whatever we got to do with this whole magical stuff, right? Like, it's so much more about the human experience and what it is that we are going to choose to actually do with these ideas. Otherwise, it's just an idea. It's just a feeling. It's just a figment of your imagination. It's Delulu that is no longer the Solulu because you're choosing to sit in an illusion and then claim that as your reality, right? But it's through action and actually showing up and check marking things off of your to-do list that create the wealth around you. You must become the change that you wish to see. And you're feeling really called to show up. I think that you are being given opportunity after opportunity to practice whatever it is that you are meant to do right now. I just heard North Node. So you could be really pulled at this time of your life to pursue more of your purpose and your destiny. Because that's ultimately what our North Node is. And what could be keeping you stuck and stagnant could very well be your South Node tendencies, which we aren't supposed to eradicate in total, by the way. We're supposed to merge our lifelong qualities. And if you don't believe in past lives, well, then you take all of those natural innate abilities that you have been born with, that you have learned and accumulated throughout your life, and instead of allowing them to hold you back as you had likely been conditioned to, you use them to push you forward. You heard? And so when these opportunities come at you, just know that you manifested them. And you don't have to know exactly what it is that you're doing. You're allowed to be more impulsive. You're allowed to make mistakes because, again, I mentioned something that I had said already in the very beginning. You're allowed to make mistakes. You're allowed to change your mind and go a different direction. Because why not? When I first started out my whole business and shindig, right, and I made it publicly known that I'm a natural psychic and like all of this stuff, like I was trembling. I was terrified. I had no idea what it is that I was doing. I kept asking spirit throughout the years, like, show me a sign. Like, how am I supposed to utilize all of this wisdom and this intuition? And once upon a time, I was just scrolling on chapters.ca, which is a bookstore for those of y'all who may not know and who aren't Canadian. It's like a Barnes and Noble, right? Or an Empeak, wherever it is that you are in the world. And I stumbled across this tarot deck and I just felt the need to purchase it. 2 days later, I had it at my doorstep. A day after that, my best friend at the time was there with me and I started just reading her energy and pulling cards. And she's like, oh my God, like I withheld information from you just for like practice. And she's like, you nailed it. And above and beyond gave me all of this stuff. And I was like, okay, this is it. And so I was like, what do I do with this? So I created a brand new Instagram account and I put out an ad and I was like, yo, I'm giving out free tarot readings. And what was my initial goal of having about 30 people ended up being just over 50 people. But it was through doing this that I learned who is my ideal client, what I'm supposed to do, how long is the most ideal for me, and like how to price it later, you know? And then as the years roll by, and I got really comfortable in how it is that I utilize my abilities through tarot, I started to evolve and I had more clients come in with opportunities that were deeply rooted in different types of traumas. And so I was like, okay, hold on. What gives me the right? What do I need to learn? And so I got out there and got certified in hypnotherapy and timeline therapy and NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, baby. Like the stuff that I didn't know I needed until I felt it was time. And just like that, the opportunities flew in, you know? So I'm hoping that my little like spiel over there and like my personal introduction to my own career evolution helped y'all out too, because when we sit here and we try to overly perfect everything, as so many of us have been like trained to do and be, right? Sometimes it's just literally being a little bit more impulsive and putting yourself out there, following your intuition and that overall like spirit and faith in the unknown, fearing it less, and courageously moving forward, and ensuring that your intellect matches your intuitive insight, and thus overcoming any struggles that once existed. Because the only way to overcome is to practice, is to just show up, you know? And here you are. I think y'all have so much love to share that you have held hidden for so long in fear of how other people may react to you, which is another thing that I totally empathize with. And yet, soul fam, if I didn't get the hell out of my own way, we would not have connected here today. And so the fear far underweighed the results and rewards. So that part's up to you to choose what to do. But in terms of like money and finances, honestly, I think that it's just a matter of like showing up with more action. And if you have been actioning things, then like spirit is definitely cheering you on at this time. Yeah. So there has been a lot of pain that has been accumulated in your lifetime. I'm really sensing that pile number one, y'all are some form of like therapists and like emotional healers. Okay, I heard Chiron as well. You could perhaps maybe even be astrologers, because like there's a lot of different like astrology things that are coming up for y'all as well. But I think that y'all are seriously here to like mend people's hearts. Using your words, using your spirit, using your emotional intelligence. And because these are all knights minus the one queen, like this is definitely innately within y'all, okay? You could be in like the starting phases of feeling comfortable, and yet courage is necessary. And you're going to seriously start changing people's lives. Straight up. I think that like, you know how like sometimes people become the type of adult that they needed as a child? Like, I think that if you've ever had a poor experience with like a teacher, instead of having that person completely shatter you, you became a teacher and cared for your students differently, communicated differently, right? It could very well be that you became a therapist, which like honestly, most of us in like the service industry and like the healthcare industry actually became who it is that we are because we wanted to be deeply understood. We wanted to serve people differently than we'd ever been able to. You know, y'all are here because you've been inspired in most likely very unprecedented and painful ways, and yet you're choosing to transmute it through the lens of love. And it's easy for us to fall into this old time narrative that emotions are weakness. And yet you can stand there and be like, no, emotions are power. My intuition makes me powerful. And how it is that I'm going to utilize this power is going to be to optimize change, to help motivate and inspire others to do the same, to recognize that they are worthy of overcoming any and all struggles in this lifetime. You're stepping out of your victim mentality and really running towards a full alchemization of past and future into your present, and owning your story. Ooh, I love this. I resonate a lot with my pal number ones. Messages for pile number one. The sun comes out tomorrow. That song comes out so freaking much in my readings. I don't know what it is. But like, yo, seriously, the fact that the sun came out, like you were the light that people need in their lives. And it's about freaking time that you stopped diluting it, okay? I think you have this like perception of yourself that like your light is only as dim as a candle, whereas you are the freaking universe, okay? And that can be really intimidating. I get it, you know? Like, I'm generally feeling that there's like this underlying of like fears and naysays and just people misunderstanding you or like trying to dim your light. Like you're too much. You're too emotional. You're too sensitive. Like, nah. They just lack the emotional intelligence. Empathy, yeah, true, psychologically is created through hypervigilance and really needing to be aware of our environment in order to keep ourselves safe. And yet, you can utilize empathy in a way to reel in a deeper understanding about people. Because you know how it feels to be so misunderstood and cast out. Y'all are like the black sheep. And yet, you create happiness. I think that pile number one, you leave people leaving better and happier and more confident and again, inspired and healed than they came to you with. So when you recognize the value that you hold and the change that you are able to offer people the privilege of witnessing and encountering, you will get a floodgate of money and clients and opportunities and such alike. And I am hearing money isn't everything, and that's fine, okay? Just know that that's also a bit of a money block there as well. And people will want to offer you things through finances, through gifts. So just be open to that as well, okay? Because the praise, the acknowledgement, the respect, the understanding that you are searching for will also come in different forms as well. Because remember, this is still a money reading of sorts, okay? For y'all, it's definitely more like emotionally driven. And yet, just be welcome to accept all forms of abundance, not just the emotional, okay? Because it is really lining up for y'all. It really, really is. So whatever it is that you're doing and pursuing, please keep going because, yeah, people need y'all. I'm hearing bottom. Aha! And there's the Ace of Pentacles. Perfectly on time. People are going to want to give you money. So fam, especially if y'all are the type that I had just mentioned that are like, money isn't everything. And like, okay, be wary of the money block of like undercharging, okay? Because sometimes we'll be like, oh, maybe it's too much. But that's also from the belief that was instilled upon you, whether it was accidentally or inadvertently. That's the same thing pretty much. Intentionally was the word that I was looking for. I think most of y'all, people in your life like really meant well for you and wanted to keep you like super humble and like, you know, again, just very people-pleasing natures are coming out here for you. Kind-hearted souls that lack self-worth in some form or a fashion. Okay, you haven't grounded that fully within you. So hopefully this is a really beautiful motivation in order to help you do that, because people will pay to meet with you, to buy your products and your services, to listen to you speak, to show up for your guided healing. Which I also want to mention, it is never your responsibility, SoulFam, to heal people. Matter of fact, you can't heal people. You can only offer them the guidance, the tools, the resources, the love, the affirmation, and it's up to them to utilize it accordingly. And the right people will come, okay? Because the last thing I want y'all to do is like overwhelm yourself to the point of like overextending yourself, being underpaid for it, and also feeling as though everything and everyone is your responsibility. You're your own responsibility. Okay, just putting that out there. It's a lesson that I definitely had to learn throughout my experiences. So I mean that with absolute love. And remember that the opportunities to get paid, to welcome in abundance in a material form is deserving and rightfully yours. And before we continue on, I'm going to be right back because I got to change my battery. And we are back with set pal number 1. That was a flash for y'all, and it was a few minutes for me. Because I take everything as a metaphor when I am channeling and delivering messages of all kinds. I do want to mention that you must learn to truly fill up your own cup in order to then spill onto everybody else, okay? In other words, literally recharge your own battery. And like prioritize more of acts of self-love. Nurturing yourself so that you may be able to nurture others as well, right? Like when it comes to people pleasing, because that's definitely been a big caveat for y'all. We want to like overpour our time and energy and resources on other people because we love them and we want to see them succeed and all of that, so much so that we literally deplete ourselves in so many ways that it can in fact eventually lead to resentment and remorse of some kind, right? But if we choose to love on ourselves a little bit more and cater to ourselves more, and our cup is always full, we're then able to pour onto everybody else like a fountain. Like the imagery that I'm having right now are those like champagne flutes that are like stacked up in a pyramid, like at a wedding or something, right? And you see someone pouring it from the very top, and yet it topples down onto absolutely all of the other glasses and flutes below it, right? It starts with overflowing yourself and thus being able to overpour onto others, keeping you ready, stable, and willing to show up and thus also accept. My dog is getting himself comfortable on my bed, so if you hear any scratching and such, apparently my mattress needs some work. All right, let's get some final messages here for y'all. Pile number 1, in terms of career, this card really stuck out to me. Memory. Okay. What I'm getting here, especially in terms of like certifications and wanting to better yourself, right? You may need to unlock the just picking and choosing my words here, y'all, sorry. You may want to strengthen your affirmations in and around your own intelligence. And know that you are going to be able to recall all of the information that you have learned, not just from school or from experiences or from your jobs or whatever, but like from anything, from past lives even. Like when you are living and breathing in your North Node and you're truly following your heart, you are open to quantum intelligence at all times. And it really requires you to be grounded within yourself. So there may be a fear of not knowing enough, or that could actually be a big block, especially with us people pleasers, that we never feel good enough, that it's like, I can't show up and do this thing until I learn more and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, where it's like, you already have everything that you need right here and right now. It's going to come quickly and efficiently for you. And these opportunities are presented to you right here and right now because you're aligned to be able to serve them. And people are really going to remember the change that you have instilled upon them. It's like a genuine honor for me as a practitioner, whether it be through my psychic services or my therapeutic services, that people pay it forward through referrals, through talking about their experiences with me so wholeheartedly that it makes me cry the happiest tears, because I never expected myself to be remembered in such a high and beautiful light. And I would love for you, pile number one, to experience something like that. And it has to start with you believing in your own value, in your own intelligence. Because gone are the days that we're going to accept the narrative that emotions are weak, that you are too much. No, sweetheart, you are exactly who you are meant to be right now. And you're going to be remembered for it. So whether this is you struggling with your own memory and your own intellect, or if you're wondering whether or not you're actually going to leave behind a legacy, trust me, the change that you're going to afflict in and around your family, your community, the globe, is going to be remembered. Okay. Protect. Yes, you must really honestly shield yourself, shield your energy, okay? Trust in your own insight, trust in your heart. Do and spill onto yourself more, okay? The greatest form of protection is self-love. No one can rock you when you truly love yourself. And yes, of course, you can love others if you don't love yourself, and yet you're limited. You're limited because then you're unable and unwilling to accept the love that you rightfully deserve because you haven't met that level of yourself yet. You know? And so protect your heart and pour into yourself more, okay? Yeah. Stop it, inspire comes out again. Inspiration is spiritual. Your impact is undeniable. Believe in it. Believe in it, pile number one, because your time is now. So whether this has been a confirmation reading for you, or perhaps a sprinkle of inspiration, I hope you continue to go forward. Change direction as you need to, learn as you need to, and never, ever, ever doubt your emotional intelligence and powerful intuition, because you just might very well unlock a career and beautiful change and impact in others that are beyond your wildest imaginations, and they can be yours. It's beyond illusion. It's beyond Delulu is the Sululu. It is actively creating your destiny. So go forth, my pile number one. Create the change you wish to see. You have my blessing and my support without a doubt. So, I heard my snaps. When I hear my snaps, that means the reading is over. I want to thank you, pile number one, for blessing me with your gracious love and energy today. I see myself in a lot of y'all, I really do. So I'm hoping that it helped you the way that it was meant to and intended to. Let me please know with a comment down below, or a like if you're a little bit too shy. And I hope to see you, if not in another pile, then another reading. Love you. Thank you. Peace. Hello, pile number two. What it do, baby? I am excited to dive on in. Let's find out what sort of money blocks, successes, and overall value messages y'all need today. The card that you have chosen is the Five of Coins. Okay. Not expected. I had no idea what cards I pulled, by the way, when I reshuffled and created this for y'all. So perhaps let's start from the beginning. There's something here about the life path 5. Okay, numerologically, 5 signifies change and adaptability. Okay, when we're thinking about like a life path, we're thinking more about like personal growth and freedom, a yearning for adventure and excitement. You want a life that's extraordinary. And yet, just based on this particular energy here, tuning in, you may have likely faced some unprecedented circumstances that left you a bit more high and dry, okay? Left you feeling devalued, perhaps maybe shut out and shunned out. Now, I want to talk about an alternative to this particular message here, because it could be here, pile number 2, that you also have quite a difficulty asking for help. It's a two-way street, okay? And when it comes to this particular energy, usually as depicted, now I am obviously using the original tarot here, so like here it is. You have people cast outside of a church that is lit, likely full of warmth and food, shelter, companionship, guidance, God. Okay? And here you are, choosing to sit right outside of it. When you have, by the grace of God, I am hearing, every right and capability to knock on that door and say, hey, I would like some support. Now, where the overall block comes in for y'all could be that when in the past you had asked for assistance, people said no, or they ridiculed you, or perhaps none of the above happened, and this is just a fear that something like this could happen. Now, this is a general reading, so take it as it resonates. Right now, though, when it comes to like money and finances, I'm kind of not surprised if pile number 2, this reading had found you today, because you want to know when and how things are going to improve for you, right? Because this card's energy does speak a little bit more about poverty. But I do really want to emphasize the number 5. Again, signifying change and adaptability, freedom, and like, I just heard like righteous movement. So, Soul Fam, if you are praying for change, please know that you must also be in a vibrational match to actually accept that change that you're hoping to inflict in your life and in your present circumstances. Okay? Because sometimes a lack of unworthiness or ineptitude to receive could very well be the block that is leaving you more so high and dry. And if the resources that you had depended on once upon a time are no longer available to you, it could just very well mean that like they're unaligned to you anymore, and you must then make a change and ask somebody different, you know? Okay, before I dive into something further, let's see what you got here for these manifesto cards. Let us not forget that our simple efforts and daily triumphs can gather weight and motion to become an unstoppable force toward a focused and free life. There's that freedom energy that I was feeling coming up for y'all again. What else do we have? I won't let others stoke fear in my heart. I choose to remain true to who I am and where my dreams direct me, no matter the hardship I might incur. Powerful stuff right here. Pile number 2. Feel free to adopt these types of mentalities if you must, okay? And something's telling me that you ought to. You really, really ought to. Before I channel in some more messages for y'all, I want to pull a couple more cards for you from the Spellcasting Oracle card deck. What does pile number 2 need to hear? This card, Manifestation. Okay, no coincidence there, I think. And wow, Strength came out. Y'all, it's time to embody your sense of power. Okay, I just heard thoughts become things. Could very well be because I literally like looked at my tattoo. But my spiritual check-ins might honestly help you all out if you feel pulled to any of them. Okay, there's an entire playlist of spiritual check-ins ready and available for you right now. They're basically like general readings, basically optimizing your overall health and clarity and spiritual evolution. And they're designed in such a way to increase your level of inspiration within yourself in order to endure and overcome obstacles. Because the fact of the matter is like, okay, number one, the world is what it is right now, okay? There's a lot of things that are outside of our control, okay? And yet, how it is that we choose to adapt is the key towards the destiny that we're truly seeking. Y'all with me so far? So it's less about what was done onto you and more about your willingness to overcome. Because if you are going to be unwilling to ask for help and to utilize your strength accordingly to push you forward, well then, my lovely pal number 2, it's going to be very difficult for you to manifest a life that you want. Instead, you're going to inadvertently manifest more woes and more struggles, more feelings of abandonment and neglect is really coming up here for y'all. My head just really hurt too. I don't know who needs this, but like, please hydrate. But moreover, water is a really big signifier of life. It's our life force. So it's time to begin to welcome in grace and gratitude for your overall existence. Because when we practice more gratitude, we begin to increase our level of vibration and our energy, and thus we welcome in anything and all, including the right people, resources, and places that are aligned to our highest power. And so there seems to be some issues here financially. Perhaps maybe y'all are living more so paycheck to paycheck. You're not really sure how you're going to survive the next day. And just know that those fears are manifesting more pain. So the fact that there is a full moon, and I think a sun behind here too, so that's really beautiful, by the way, because it's like the sun is illuminating what you gotta let go of. Ooh, 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 I love that. Okay, anyways, back to this before I digress even further. With the full moon, it's a really great signifier of the things that you must let go of, okay? So, and I know sometimes it's so much easier said than done, okay? Especially when, and I mean this with so much love in my heart, when you're holding a victim mindset, it's almost offensive to say, well, just get over it. That's not at all what I'm saying. I'm saying, look another way for a different type of resource. It's like the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting a different outcome. You're only going to keep like bashing your head against the wall without truly allowing yourself to just turn right a little bit, or even left, in any other direction, and notice that there is a door waiting for you to open. But you're stuck on one way of being for whatever reason. Lest you not forget how simple these efforts may be. And perhaps maybe y'all are stuck in a future It's like how am I wording this? Please, Spirit, help me. You could be envisioning a reality that you currently believe is out of reach, and thus you're willing to settle. And thinking that this future life of abundance and happiness and success in all forms, in this case more so financial, if we're going to be, staying on par here, you could feel that that's almost impossible. And it's too grandiose, anyways. And so the fear of the overwhelm of success, which is ultimately what's coming out here for y'all, is keeping you small and unwilling to do the simple little things that can accumulate in time and build up such a deep resilience that well, you overcome. And this experience becomes a really cool lesson that you can look back on with humbled triumph and be like, I did that. So I'm sending out a lot of love. Bottom of the deck here, 5 of Cups. What is going on? I'm going to pull some more cards here for y'all before I get on some more, okay? So we have the 5 of Cups, the 3 of Swords. Messages from our pile number 2, please. We have the High Priestess. Ooh, ooh, beautiful. Hold on. Okay, we have the 10 of Wands. Some boundaries really need to get set in place, okay? Y'all have really, okay. Hold on, sorry, I bit my tongue. This card really wanted to come out. We got Judgment, okay. Wow. I feel like this kind of came out of nowhere. Did it just like fly out? I am hearing one more. The Moon card. Here we are with the Moon again. Okay. Be mindful of your manifestations, okay? Because what it is that you're choosing to focus on and cater the right or wrong types of emotions onto, you end up inadvertently manifesting with every step in action that you take, okay? The formula for manifestation is focus plus emotion plus action. That's what equals manifestation. So if you're going to consistently keep focusing on things that are not working out, it's going to deplete your overall vibration, aka your emotion. You're not coming at it from a happy and positive state. You're coming at it from a lower vibrational state. You're manifesting more sadness, more fear, more grief, etc. And thus, that implicates the types of actions that you're going to be more willing or unwilling to take. When you're in a higher state of vibration and knowing and belief, and your focus is on your strength, your actions are going to really align more with that attitude. And you're going to thus be more able and willing to set appropriate boundaries to ask for help and not ever look at it as something that is lesser than, but rather you're right to utilize the resources that are being presented to you at this time, and that you are likely welcomed to at any point in time. Now, the Queen of Cups comes out here as well, telling me that there's some really deep-rooted emotions and intuition that y'all are able to unlock. And this whole experience, talk about adaptability, okay? It's teaching you how to overcome, how to grow, how to, with the 10 of Wands here, let go of shit that no longer freaking serves you. Stop saying yes when you really mean no. And definitely stop avoiding feeling no. I'm going to reiterate that because I think y'all are stuck in these negative emotions a little bit too much, okay? Perhaps maybe even romanticizing them in a way. You know, there's a little bit of like a violin that's coming on in, and I'm really hoping to approach this with more compassion than sarcasm, and know that your triggers are valid, and instead of sitting in them, phase them out and release them. I offer hypnotherapy and NLP services, okay? So like message me, let's chat. I'm still working on bits of my website. It should have been up by now, so I do apologize. But if you want to send me, I don't know, put a white heart down below, a single white heart, okay? And I'll send you a link to message me and we can have a chat, or like message me on Instagram. Everything's going to be in my link tree down below in my description, okay? Ask for help, ask for the resources. Like I'm literally also even giving you an invitation. Like there's no coincidence that this is what's coming up. Like you're manifesting resources. Hi, hello, pile number 2. I am welcome and happy and able to serve you, okay? And don't worry about the financial things. Perhaps maybe I could just simply point you in another direction, or give you the right type of video that I had created for you, whatever it may be. Resources are available to you, and asking for them is free. Your intuition is already telling you what it is that you got to do right now, how to get out of this slump. And yet you're still convincing yourself that you don't know. I just heard, why me? Oh, no. The dreaded why keeps you stuck in a cycle and a loop. Why? Because your brain is designed to find answers for you. And when you're constantly asking why, all you're telling it to do is give you one reason and a potential other reason and another reason and another reason. But if we ask a different type of question, like what is my next step? Who can I reach out to that can really help me progress in my financial situations right now? Do I say yes or no? And actually building rapport with your unconscious mind and your intuition enough that you trust in the action is what's ultimately going to change your direction. That's how you adapt. You already hold the key to the life that you desire. Your pain is just overwhelming you right now. And that's valid. By the way, you are allowed to feel like shit. I give you full permission to feel like shit. And there has to come a point when you feel and have felt like shit enough where you change the narrative and convince yourself, tell yourself, I've had enough. Instead of welcoming more reasons for pain and sorrow and neglect and abandonment, you say, no, I've had enough. And oftentimes, it's rock bottom that in fact teaches us how to reach new heights. And it's in fact through rock bottom that we break through. Because it is in your deepest depths that you are able to match its equal higher vibration. As above, so below. So you could be really afraid about your financial state at this time. Good, great, we have acknowledged that. What is my next step? Do I need to send out resumes? Yes or no? Do I need to reach out to Kat? Yes or no? Do I need to ask a different type of resource? Yes or no? The answers are already around you. I even heard through your dreams, okay? So you can literally be being fed different types of symbolism and idealizations and literal arrows. Like I'm seeing arrows right now being projected with my third eye. Like spirit saying, like over here, like the trumpet is being blown and they're like, like hello? Like, and yet you're still like, no, I have to do it this way. And I can't say yes, and I can't just drop it because XYZ reasons. Yeah, you can. You can. You can literally put this down and take only what you are capable of taking with you and then ask for help. Hey, can you take some of this load off of me right now? But your unwillingness to ask for help is blocking you from receiving money, from receiving grace, from receiving kindness. And this is when we begin to truly recognize the power that we hold in our reality. So it's time, Soul Fam, to perhaps maybe become the hero in your story. Because you can. Your unconscious mind, your powerful unconscious mind, is designed to keep you safe. So it could very well be that, because I'm really getting pointed over here to this area here with the moon and manifestation and all of that, right? Okay, cool. Let's talk about this kind of metaphor. A war veteran, okay, in the middle of a battlefield, has no time to sit there and quiver in fetal position in fear and fright. No, instead, they must fight because that is the way that they could survive, right? And it isn't until they are out of the war zone and comfortable in bed, in the warmth and the safety, that their unconscious mind brings up all that had been suppressed in a very violent and traumatic time, because now it is safe to process and release and let go of this experience in order to thus make room for change and evolution and strength, rather. And yet, the pain runs really deep, yes, because when we are choosing to relive a memory, our brain is so freaking powerful that it brings us back into that moment and we relive it as if it's happening to us right here and right now. And yet, realistically, we know that we are safe in bed. So instead of sitting here and going, why me? Offer yourself more grace. And thank your heart and mind for protecting you for as long as it had, and still believe that it is. Because it is. Your unconscious mind is only ever, like its prime directive is to keep you safe, amongst other things. But safety. And sometimes what happens is we find comfort in the discomfort because it's predictable. Some of y'all got used to living paycheck to paycheck, as an example. Because more wealth and success is uncomfortable. Because you're unwilling to receive it. You think less of yourself when you put yourself first. There is strength that lies in the ability of interconnectedness and welcoming that in. your independence, your hyper independence, is weighing you down. With likely very good cause and reason. I will never take that away from you. And step by step, with simple efforts, you will be able to become an unstoppable force. Because now your focus is going to start changing and shifting into that free life, into freedom. And thus your emotions are going to be able to align with a higher state of being. And thus your actions will follow. And lo and behold, you're manifesting a life that is outside of this dread. And you will have yourself a breakthrough. Because you can. It's ultimately what judgment's about. It's about overcoming and becoming. It is a catalytic moment in your life. Likely a dark night of the soul. Which, by the way, is a lot longer than a night. Most of the time. I recently went through yet another one. And it took me like 3 months of very, very low vibration. And it was a good thing. Because what was coming up was safe for me now to release and overcome. And lo and behold, not only had I survived it, but I transmuted it and became a better, not even better as if like I was ever wrong, but more aligned towards a new life. A life that I never once believed I could have deserved. For whatever reason. Fill in the blank, 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 blank. I'm not going to be, exposing my stuff right now. But like, whatever it is generally that is coming up for y'all is blocking your finances. Because value equals value. The true value of money is you, soul fam. It's you. You determine your worth. And so as much as you give onto others, why do you refuse others to give onto you and only accept the bare minimum? Are you not worthy of more? Of course you are. So it's time to unleash this amazing ability to thrive. Because you've survived enough. Y'all need some strength. Y'all need to welcome that into you. With some really beautiful affirmations, with a hug to yourself, through therapy, however it is that aligns to you. There are ways to overcome. And you can move past the mundane life that you have accepted. And this is coming up because you no longer accept it. And that's good. That's okay. You're allowed to change. You are allowed to adapt. You're allowed to say no when you really mean yes. And yes when you really wait. What? Anyways, what I was going to say, because I kind of lost myself there, so like, my bad. But anyways, just say no instead of yes. Instead of taking on more crap, say no to the crap and say yes to yourself. Say yes to opportunities. Say yes to somebody as simple, honestly, soul fam, as someone bringing a cup of coffee to you. You accept it wholeheartedly. instead of automatically thinking, oh my God, I have to repay them or give it back to them. Like, no, just say, thank you so much. I really needed one today. Because it aligned to you. Someone thought of you while they were getting their own cuppa, and they were like, yo, pile number 2, something tells me that they could use this today. And so a gift was manifested for you. The audacity for you to say, oh, no, I can't accept that. Whoop, cancel. Yes, you can. So this is what I mean by saying yes when you would have used to say no. Same thing goes when you're being asked to like overwork and do a favor for somebody else, and you are absolutely drained and exhausted, and you can't handle it. You do not have the emotional and mental capacity any longer. Why are you saying yes when you really mean no? You may be wondering, how the heck is this in relation to any sort of money and career reading? Well, again, I state your value is equal to the external value. Your internal reality will equal your external reality. Therefore, if you believe that you are unable to receive, you're sending out the same signal out to the universe, and the universe goes, okay, well, they're okay with where they're at. Because we keep trying to give it to pile number 2, and pile number 2 is saying, I'm unworthy of it. Cancel. I'm offering you, hopefully, what is a kind-hearted wake-up call, a little trumpet, for you to wake up to your magnificence. The high priestess comes out here, dude. It's usually the most empathic, most powerful people that are unaware of their freaking magnificence. I have been where you are, pile number 2. This is why I can speak on it as confidently as I am. Another reason why I'm saying that you can overcome this. It's about trusting the insight and the resources and the next steps that you already have, and definitely get out of the why me loop. The universe will grant you the answers later. Once you hit a different type of vibration, everything is energy. Welcome to the age of Aquarius. Okay. Also, age of Aquarius, like Pluto being in Aquarius, is about interconnectivity. It's about oneness. We're moving from me into we. So my beautiful, hyper-independent soul fam, time to move into interdependence, where someone gives you a little and you take a little. And you find a really beautiful equilibrium in and around your circle, your community, your family. And ultimately find the right people that are going to align with you. Because again, whatever neglect and abandonment that you had faced, it is painful, and it had to happen for you to finally walk away from it. Whether they walked away from you or you walked away from them, the separation had to occur because there was no more alignment, because it was causing you even more pain. So as much as the pain of losing hurts, understand that the strength in gaining and the lessons that it had taught you will welcome in more than you had ever expected. So long as you're willing to receive it, my point will be proven through your experiences. And only you can unlock that door that you already hold the key to. You have the key within you. You are the key. You're the key. Capiche? Good. I love y'all. What is this? Provide. I just heard Taurus season, so I don't know the dates for that. My bad. But there's something about like an emphasis about Taurus season where you're really going to find a lot of beautiful stability here, okay? This is a cow, right? A cow is seen as a very sacred entity in certain religions and cultures and countries, okay? This isn't about abundance as well. To be able to provide, you must be willing to receive. And God, because this is, y'all may be Christian or very religious focused, okay? Whoever your God is for you, pile number 2, they're willing to provide you with everything that you need and want and more. It's time to now change the narrative. Phase out what no longer serves you. Take the lessons that it taught you and increase your sense of worthiness and strength within you, because you also have that. You had overcome this because you have the strength to. So imagine what you can do with it now. Huh? See how a little tiny shift of narrative changes your reality slightly? Gets you thinking a little bit more, doesn't it? Thinking about more solutions rather than the woes and the pains. And this life is made of both. You must have both. But what's that phrase? I'm probably going to butcher it, but like God will give his like greatest battles to his greatest soldiers or something like that. Well, hey, what's up, soldier? Create your reality. The other cool thing about spiders too is that they will make their web, right? They'll weave their awesome web, and say it rains and a few raindrops mess it all up. That spider's willing to adapt enough to recreate the holes and fill it in. There's a drive that a spider holds that creates its web and its destiny, because that's how it is that it gets to eat. That's how it attracts its sustenance for survival. See how it's all kind of coming full circle here, huh? A circle? Last card. This one, I heard yes. And we have joy. Yes. To let in gratitude. I'm gonna just like that. The joy of getting caught in some gentle rain. And instead of focusing on how wet you are, you can focus on how invigorating that experience is. And you will welcome in the warmth that you then require, because you're going to be willing to accept what this universe is willing to provide you. And it must come through you creating the right types of opportunities instead of sitting in a loop and hoping for change in things that you know you've already grown out of. And the more that you do that, the more that you will increase your sense of gratitude and joy within yourself and thus within your life. So if I'm meant to hear my snaps, that is my symbolistic spiritual way of saying that's the baby all, folks. I hope this reading served you and found whoever needed it today. Because a wealthy life must start with a wealthy mindset. And it is time for you to receive all that you are meant to receive in this lifetime. The good things, the happy things, the joyful things. So stay open. With so much love, pile number 2. I hope to see you in either another pile or another reading. Again, reach out if you would like. I'm happy to provide my services to help you create more joy in your life. Are you willing to accept it? Well, let me know. Peace. Hello, pile number 3. What's up? What it do, baby? Thank you so much for taking the time to hang out with me today. Without further ado, let's just dive right on in, see what messages we got for you as far as career goes, perhaps any money blocks, abundance messages. You guys picked dun, 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 the 9 of Pentacles. I love it. Okay. So I'm sensing a really beautiful entrepreneurship vibe from y'all, okay? Whether this is established or a plan, nevertheless, it's something that you're really working hard in grounding into reality. You have a new, or rather renewed sense of how it is that you value your energy and your time, your commitment to yourself. The 9 of Pentacles is one that is very grounded, very abundant in what you have created for yourself. And you find joy in what it is that you have without allowing yourself to be too overly worried about what it is to come. Like, this isn't necessarily the 10 of Pentacles, where it's like the ultimate fulfillment and goal and stability. But perhaps maybe you're just on your way to obtaining that for yourself. And I want to say that the vibe that I'm tuning into y'all right now, like, you're loving every step of the way. You're finding this really beautiful balance between business and pleasure. And I want to say, energetically, what I'm picking up from y'all is work hard, play hard is a thing from the past for you, okay? It's like you'd rather work joyfully and play joyfully. Y'all feel what I'm saying? Yeah, you agreed. You already know what's up. So let's take a look at what the Manifestation and Manifesto cards have to say. And it reads, greatness belongs to those who have mastered the ability to focus relentlessly on their ambitions and act decisively towards them. Yeah, all right. So let's talk about the grounding measures here, okay? Out of all of the cards that I had placed out, this is finally a pentacle card. I had no idea what it is that I pulled until I pulled it. But nevertheless, there is this really admirable ability that you hold in order to really make every single one of your goals a reality. I just heard, you can't tell me no. Facts. Like, I'm definitely one of those people. Like, don't tell me what to do. You tell me no, I'm gonna just do it anyways just to prove you wrong. But it's not even about revenge for you. It's about living a life that you really want for yourself. And I honestly am going to point out that you have a lot of people really looking up to you. I'm hoping that you're more aware of that, but usually we're clouded by our own judgments of ourselves. But the more that you work on really truly grounding yourself, the more you begin to amaze yourself, your stamina, your ability to overcome obstacles that perhaps maybe once upon a time you were convinced that you could never obtain. And yet you sat down with yourself, and through changing your own perspective and personal value, you have overcome so much. And it's become a reality. And I will say that y'all really being in tune with your intuition differs from, let's say, like pile number 1, if you came from that, right? You acted on these little niggles, if you will, these little prompts. You built rapport with your unconscious mind, with your intuition, with spirit, so much so that through faith you acted, and thus begun to build a life for you that I would say that you're really proud of. And again, if this is still something that you're like working towards, because do I think that you're at your like absolute like final form? No. And I think that's the fun about it. Y'all are enjoying the process of becoming. And that is what's really admirable. I just heard you make it look really easy. I roll my eyes because like I have that habit for myself too. But nevertheless, we all know that we work really hard, right? The next card is we do not need to wait for perfect conditions. We will find perfection in progress. And that's exactly it. You're enjoying the step of the way. You know that there are aspects of your business, of yourself that could use improvement. And that's a really humble way of acknowledging, as I sip my coffee, acknowledging where and how it is that you can continue to grow. Because why stop now? Like, you've attained already so much and you've learned so much, but it's through a lot of the stresses and turmoils and strains that you were able to truly become. Like, I think out of all of the piles here, pile number 3, you've likely overcome everything that pile number 1 and pile number 2 had overcome. You know, like, let's think about the Pentacles for a hot second. Even the 5 of Pentacles is an energy where you lack that self-worth and self-knowing in yourself. You know, it's like you don't really know how to collaborate. You feel ashamed to ask for help and to receive. Or perhaps maybe feel as if you're not good enough to even offer your services, your intellect, your ideas, your just you. And yet, the 9 of Pentacles, although it's not the full 10 or the king or queen, whatever you feel like identifying as today, you have made the absolute best of your circumstances. And just like beauty, perfection is in the eye of the beholder. So that is wonderful. Let's see what other messages we got here for y'all. Messages for pile number 3. We have grieving. Okay. Hold up. What's that about? I'm really getting pulled to the butterfly there. Okay. Well, you guys are going to have 3 cards because I was really pulled to this one intuitively, and it is... Oh, did I not just say I was pulled to the butterfly? All right, well, that reiterated that because I was actually going to get some confirmations for this. All right, so yeah, I think my little spiel back there in and about like going from a lack mentality of like the 5 of Pentacles as an example over to the 9 of Pentacles really truly established your metamorphosis. Like when we think about the butterfly, right? When the caterpillar cocoons, it doesn't just like grow wings. It completely turns into like this yucky ucky mush, which is likely this grievance stage, you know, like where we're down in the dumps, where we are struggling, to say the least. Okay, let's not sit in that energy for too long, but nevertheless, we are going to acknowledge it as a triumphant point in your life, pile number 3, that you grew wings and you've stepped out of past beliefs that allowed you to cultivate courage within. It's one of those things where it's like your lowest points are the things that have made you the strongest. You know, without the lows, you'll never know the highs and all that stuff, right? If you are curious, like definitely check out the other piles too, because I think that like you're gonna resonate it with it being more so like your past self, you know? So it's kind of cool to reflect on that sometimes. But nevertheless, I did hear Leo, so y'all could have some Leo in any of your predominant placements. Doesn't necessarily have to be the case. Okay, let's not get stuck on such things. But nevertheless, you cultivated this within yourself. You found the power within your progress and thus created greatness and potentially even turned into a leader. I love that for you. I really do. Let's pull some more cards. Messages for pile number 3. What? Nope, I heard none of this. Okay, cool. I'm going to shuffle them. Okay, this card really wants to, okay. So y'all were not afraid to walk away from everything it is that you had once built in order to find a renewed sense of self, right? Like when we're looking at the 8 of Cups, as we are here, obviously, this man or woman is moving away from everything that they have created for themselves in order to find their 2 of Cups. Now, 2 of Cups, yes, is often affiliated with like love and soulmates and things like that, but it is ultimately a really beautiful connection between yourself and source, between yourself and your spirit. It's as above, so below. Like these concepts kind of keep coming out where it's like you wanted to find your absolute meaning between this reality and perhaps maybe past lives or like your future. Like it's very metaphysical, you know, it's giving me a spirituality. And it's through doing that and your willingness to let go of everything that you had once known that you were able to really truly come back with like this newer, greater, happier, more stable version of yourself. No wonder you're so admired. That shows incredible perseverance. And that sort of shit can't be faked. It was 11:22 when I looked at my clock, by the way. For anyone who needed that. Messages from my pile number 3, please. I just heard flip out, so we'll wait. But I think really a lot of people look out. I'm not getting pulled to read this in reverse. A lot of people are really being pulled to your energy and how it is that you created your life. I just heard like something out of nothing. The Death card comes out here too. Another metamorphosis kind of card, right? Where there's a death, there's always a beginning. This card wants to come out. 3 of Pentacles, for those of y'all who may not know or are watching along. I know some of y'all just tend to kind of pop these in as a little, and then we have this. Some travel could be in play. I am hearing one more. So yeah, we're just gonna shove all of this aside here so we can show it for you. I think you guys, okay, so number 1, y'all got some like goofy personalities that I love. You don't mind making mistakes. You're able to laugh at yourself. And I just heard like the making of, like in this chapter, in this season, like you look at life and your business, your abundance, your experiences in general as like these really wonderful phases and like checkpoints in your life that allow you to dream. We have 2 3s here. So 33 might have something to do for y'all. There's a deep sense that people want to collaborate with you. They want to almost like join forces. And if that's not the case in your business and you're pulling away, because there's something here, I don't know if I mentioned this or not, but like the 9 of Pentacles is, okay, it's like independence with interdependent possibilities. But like, say for example, you had a business partner and you're separating, right? Like you're moving away from what it is that you've built to accumulate something that is your own. Like I just heard this is mine. So that could be something that is the case there. It could be literally you like leaving a job in general and thus being able to build up your own. There is something here about you looking beyond where it is that you currently stand. So sure as hell, y'all got your eyes on that 10 of Pentacle prize. I just heard, nah, I want the crown. Amazing. Like, this is what I'm talking about. Like, and this is ultimately about following your passions and really trusting your gut in and about like using your discernment regarding who it is that you can trust and even the types of like clientele that you want to take on. I just heard I'm picky, as you should be, and your energy should remain protected. This card came out, yeah. So with the Two of Pentacles here, you may kind of feel as though sometimes you're juggling a lot. And that's okay. Sometimes life really brings us some surprises that perhaps maybe we didn't foreshadow as much. Like even as a psychic medium, you would think that I would know a lot more about my own life and like what to expect tomorrow and what's gonna happen in a year from now, but that negates the full human experience, right? Like there's only so much that we can foretell for ourselves. It's easier to have someone else read our energy than it is for us to read our own futures. You know what I mean? But nevertheless, using your discernment and all of the lessons that you had once learned, especially through your dark nights of the soul, if you will, like these, your depths, your rock bottoms have built up a courage to sustain anything. So yeah, you may be kind of juggling who you were with who you're becoming, because I'm kind of feeling it that way. It could be you juggling like 2 different jobs, 2 different opportunities, 2 different ideas. And yet, what's really beautiful here is that like, I'm not saying that you don't have any sort of money blocks, because we all do in one form or fashion. I mean, society and media and like, you know, all these like gazillionaires that want to control everything have really like instilled a lot into the collective, right? There's like a hierarchy that we must like, you know, fall into at one point or another. And I'm not sensing that being anything that you are afraid of, doubtful of. I just think that you, pile number 3, and this is a really refreshing take, are just very grounded in the overall experience. It's like you're open to learn what the future will bring for you. And thus you're able to really manifest the life that it is that you desire. It's interesting. I just had like a post that I had posted a long time ago, and I'm definitely not saying this like verbatim, but it's like people are really unaware of the amount of times that a part of you needs to die in order for you to recreate a life that you really want to live in and exist in. You know, it's like y'all are manifesting this like newer version of yourself. This could have also something to do with like your physical body. So perhaps maybe you are now increasing that level of self-value and worth within yourself, that like you're taking yourself to the gym, you're prioritizing your health a lot better, and like what it is that you were eating, what you're drinking. Like I, for one, I've stopped drinking alcohol like a long time ago. And every single time I have a sip, which is like once a year now, I immediately am like repulsed by it. I'm like, this isn't even like my thing anymore. It doesn't make me feel good. I don't like it. You're like rejecting everything down to like the most minuscule details of like what it is that you're choosing to consume day to day, up to like the people that you have around you, the environments that you're in. Like this could absolutely signify travel. Y'all could literally be moving. Perhaps maybe it's something overseas. Who knows? I just heard not yet. Okay, that's cool. No one's rushing you. I'm just pointing it out there. Slow and steady. Let's reground ourselves, pile number 3. Yo, I've got some really beautiful ideas. And it's a matter of continuously cultivating, using what it is that you do have right here and right now in order to move and in order to pursue. And that movement is, again, grounded in every single step that you take every single day, knowing that it's going to pay off in the long run. I want to applaud you, pile number 3. There are very few things in this life that are going to stop you, because you know the power that you hold. You've overcome so much already. And you're really humble about it too. Like, yeah, maybe I'm like pumping up the air in your brain a little bit here, you know, giving you a big head and like compliments and like, but it's a really grounding nature here as well. Because those whom have really truly overcome deep ego deaths, and that is a complete transition of your overall perspective into a brand new reality. I just heard quantum leap. Like, y'all have done everything on an emotional, mental, spiritual, and thus physical level to completely change time and time again. So now the question's like, what's next? Like, you're excited. This is like bubbling up. Like, I'm just getting started. Like, y'all ain't seen nothing yet. And again, like, I'm sensing like so many eyes are on you, pile number 3. Now, this may or may not intimidate you, like, just based on your own personal, whatever, experiences and, like, you know, viewpoints and things on that. But I do want to say that, like, although, yeah, I'm feeling some little bits of, like, jealousy and things like that, especially from people that you most likely, like, walked away from, right? Because, like, this grievance could also be, like, you just choosing that, like, certain friends can't hang with you anymore. You know what I mean? Like, you don't vibe with the type of environment and activities and just overall, like, I don't know, I'm kind of getting a sense that, like, you may had walked away from, like, a friend of yours that you really hoped to take you, or, like, you hoped to take them with you, you know, but, like, they were just, like, stuck and stagnant in, like, old ways of being. And as someone whom is, like, constantly transforming, you really need people around you who have the ability to do the same in one form or another. You know, like, you got to stick with not necessarily the overachievers, but, like, those whom understand the power of consistently being able to recreate yourself for the better and take this life opportunity and the lessons that are bestowed upon us as favorable omens, as opposed to, like, you know, struggles and strains that are just, like, yeah, of course they're part of life, but, like, you're not allowing these things to become excuses that keep you stagnant and stuck. I'm hearing Little Mermaid, I want more. Like, look at this stuff, isn't it neat? Wouldn't you think my collection is complete? Wouldn't you think I'm a girl who has everything? And yeah, some people do. They look on to pile number 3 and they're like, what can't you do? What else you got up your sleeve, pile number 3? Like, damn, like, do you not have everything? And you're sitting here going, like, I'm just getting started. Bruv, I'm like a fish out of water right now. I want to learn how to walk. I want to learn how to run. Hell, I want to fly. I just heard pizza pie. Okay, maybe I'll want to order in some pizza. And that's the thing too, right? Like, be open, so fam, to also offer yourself, like, the pleasures in life as well. You know, maintaining that beautiful balance between life and business is something that's going to allow you to accumulate more of the things that you are rightfully aligning to, right? Because if we're going to consistently keep focusing on, like, the stress and strain of, like, we must produce more and, like, the engagement has to be up and, like, money's got it, like, like, we kind of forget the premise of what life is all about, and that's literally living. You know, so when you find yourself juggling and, like, you're in between, especially when you're feeling stressed out and, like, frustrated and, like, angry at yourself, perhaps maybe you're more judgmental, I would definitely look into your human design and take a look at, like, some of your pain points there. Like, as a generator myself, I get highly frustrated when I am not in alignment with my highest self, you know? So when I am in alignment, though, like, I am a machine that just, like, you cannot power off. Like, I stay up until 3, 4, 5 a.m. just, like, creating and, like, doing the things that I love because I'm just, like, full of all of this energy. I mean, that's just what a generator technically is. It's just, like, this, like, abundance of energy that just keeps on giving. But it's only towards the things that really fuel me. You know, it's following my heart. So again, like, whoever needed that, maybe y'all are like a generator yourself. I am kind of feeling more manifestor energy with y'all, which is another reason why perhaps maybe you have learned that it's through action that you obtain. So, like, don't know why I'm going on this tangent, but like stick with me here. Manifestors in human design repel people. And that can hurt. That could possibly be the grievances here, right? Where it's like the things that you want to acquire in your life, the ideas that you have are seemingly so out of the box for the people that are around you that like they're the things that keep you small. And they're like, that's never going to work out. That's kind of stupid. Like, da da da. And so what happens when you feel misunderstood, dear manifestors of human design, is you act out. You are very angry, right? So like where frustration is my unalignment signal, anger is yours as a manifestor. And so breaking out of that and doing it anyways and like really abiding by the action, which is ultimately what manifestors are here to do. They're here to act on. Like if as a manifestor, you're sitting there like waiting for things to come to you, you're not in alignment to your overall human design and like way of accumulating your abundance. Y'all feeling me so far? So like you must implement more action than the average person, but like your outcomes are actually going to come much quicker and like much more abundantly and frequently and fluently the more that you pursue. So I think that some of y'all are really just like changing your perspective on how it is that you accumulate abundance and like happiness and stability in your life. And obviously there's like a projector, like there's all these different things of like human design, which like look into it. Let's get some more messages here for y'all. Messages from my pile number 3. What does my pile number 3 need to know? What do they need? What messages got to come out? Oh, of course that fell on the floor. What else is there? I'm hearing one more. Messages for my pile number 3. Okay, we have care. Y'all could be a Cancer because that's really fluent here. We also have memory. This came out, when did this come out? I don't know. I think it was in the pile number 2. And we also have sacred. So, okay. Number 1, water sign may be fluent here. Like there's definitely something about like water. If you're not like a water sign, like a Pisces, Cancer, or who am I missing? Scorpio, then it could just very well be that like water, as it being like a life force for us humans, could really rejuvenate you and invigorate you. So like definitely take some walks out in the rain, or like just like sit by a pond or a lake or an ocean, whatever it is that you've got near you. Get on a boat if you can, walk on the docks. Definitely take more baths and showers, okay? Like make that like a thing for you, okay? Because I think that's also where you're gonna get a lot of like really beautiful, inspiring, intuitive clicks and aha moments and things like that, right? But let's talk about it even more. Just because like care came in, sacred came in, like really abiding by like the laws of the universe for yourself. Laws of attraction could be something. I just literally see someone holding the law of attraction book. So this could be something that you're diving into right now. It's so funny because I think I just heard someone say, oh my God, and they just like looked at their bookshelf at it. Yeah, I see you, babes. I see you. And with memory here, which is like elephants are one of my favorite animals, but then I can't get to, I can't ever decide what my favorite animal is because like I just love them all. But nevertheless, these giant creatures are ones that when it comes to memory, like you might very well be recalling things from like past lives. And if you don't believe in things like reincarnation, little things from the past are really coming up right now in such a healed manner that like they're just building up your level of discernment. And I think you'll have like this really quick wit about y'all, you know? Very intellectual creatures I am sensing my pile number 3s are. And yet you have this ability to also like really ground your words, ground your overall ways of being. And you're highly protective over the people and things that you love. So use that to your advantage. Protect yourself, protect your sanity, and definitely cut out people, places, and things that like you just, don't amplify you. Like really truly pay attention to how people, places, and things make you feel once you move away from them. Like there's something here about music that's coming on in. So as a quick example, like say you're hanging out with someone, pay attention to like the playlist that you pop in as soon as they leave. Like, are you drowning in like that sad R&B shit? Are you like pumping it up with some, I don't know, like it's kind of music, which I like personally despise, but like I know a lot of people love it. So like I'm not hating, but like whatever, that just came to mind. I don't know what it is, like techno or like, I don't know, some sort of that stuff. Yeah. I have no idea about that side of music. Or if it's like hip hop or like some country, you know, like what types of lyrics are you singing along to? How do you feel? Is your energy more depleted or are you feeling more aligned to yourself, more motivated? Are you angry? Are you disgusted? Pay attention. Pay attention, okay? Because that's the sort of shit that is going to really build up your tomorrow, build up your next moment. And the thing is that your energy is incredibly sacred, okay? Especially as you overcome more of your issues, for lack of better words, you know, and like you completely transform your way of being and you turn grievances into courage. You protect your peace a lot more. It becomes a very instilled natural reflex for you to protect your space and your peace. So this just might be a reminder for y'all to perhaps maybe like, I did this the other day too. Like I went through my following list and I just like removed people that I'm not aligned with anymore, any businesses that I'm not aligned with anymore, anything and anyone that like perhaps I haven't been in cahoots or like in conversation with in like a really long time. And I was like, I don't really care to have you like here. So I removed them and I removed myself, you know, when it becomes easier the more that you do that. And perhaps because I'm getting this message coming through here too, that like perhaps maybe y'all got a lot of like hate and flack for it before too, where it's like, oh, pal number 3 thinks they're like too good for us. But like, no, thanks for projecting onto me though. But like, I'm just protecting myself, you know? Like, again, there's this really deep protection, especially when it comes to like elephants. Like they remember the people that they love and they cherish them. And they are also going to remember anyone and anything that has hurt them. And thus they will protect their herd. They'll protect themselves. You know, like, you don't want to fuck with an elephant. I don't know who thinks they could take on an elephant, but like, ooh, it ain't me. I don't know. But like, anyways, with the crab here, right? It's like your body, your essence, your energy is worth protecting and caring for. And so when you feel that things and people are unaligned to you, definitely places too, you got to really trust that like discernment. You really do. Because not everyone is meant to collaborate with you, you know? And like, again, like death is in the center. Death is in the center of your reading here. So like, there's still some forms of like transitions that like, again, perhaps maybe have become like second nature to some of y'all, but to my other pal number 3s, you have to begin to truly understand and ground into you the power that you hold. And eventually just like leaving people, places, and things that no longer serve you just become easier. Like your ability to set healthy boundaries for yourself. Yeah, like that shit like skyrockets. It becomes second nature. Like I think maybe once upon a time, perhaps maybe you were afraid to say no. And now you're just like, no. And no is a full sentence. I don't have to sit here and explain to you I said no. Why are you asking me why? Because I don't feel like it. Because I don't want to. Because I don't like you. Like, I don't know. Like, again, there's this like playful wit about y'all that like, I don't know, maybe it's just my energy kind of projecting onto you. And like, that's just the way that I'm like, you know, kind of interpreting it. But like, yeah, like you guys got like a way with your words that like, it's not always necessarily about what you say, but how you say it. And perhaps maybe once upon a time, maybe you were a little pumped up with a little bit more greed and like, you know, a bit of narcissism, right? I'm not calling you a narcissist. Everyone has a bit of narcissistic qualities. Let's be honest here, right? But like life has humbled you. And I'm here to let you know that, like, I see that. I see you. You know, and this is ultimately just going to blast you off into career. Like, this is pile number 3. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, this is really feeling like a very big general reading for y'all as opposed to like career focus. But like, we already know that our internal reality reflects our external reality. And I think if you really truly allow yourself to notice the people and places and experiences and opportunities that are flooding in to you right now, and like how your environment is changing, the types of connections that you are witness to, that you are introduced to, are greater than you've ever expected them to be, you're only going to welcome more of what suits you. And I think that y'all just gotta really become more aware of it, and just allow yourself to become more aware of it, you know? A little simple example of this is like, I personally went through like a lot of daddy issues in my life, like long story short. And my most recent dark night of the soul had really allowed me to overcome narcissistic abuse that I had experienced throughout these parental like traumas. And now I'm noticing that like I'm really welcoming in a lot of like respectful and like healing men, and like men that are even reaching out saying like, I'm healing and like I'm trying and I'm doing, and I'm just sitting here going like, what is that? Like, you are, what do you mean? Like, but like in like a really wonderful way where I'm just like, damn, like you masculines are like, you're doing it, you're healing. Like, what is that? You want to be caring towards women? Like, that astonishing to me. But that's the energy that I'm now vibrating in, because I've healed enough of myself and gained enough discernment and self-love and care, and I've protected my space with the appropriate boundaries, so much so that like, this is now what I'm allowing myself to see. And that is the goodness that's around. So when it comes to like career, I think that's just going to continue to wonderfully surprise you, pile number 3. And whether you are cognizant of it now or not, just know that so much of the work that you have put into yourself is in fact truly paying off. I see it. And so sometimes, yeah, like you may feel as though you are in between two places, very walk to remember, you know, that scene where it's like, you put your leg here and put your other foot there, and now you're in 2 places at once, and it's like, wow. But like, what a confusing place to be though, nonetheless, you know what I mean? It's like, what do you even identify as, right? So like, you're still finding your footing and your stability, and the point is here is that like your options are endless, because your transmutation and alchemization of your past self into the present moment is allowing you to open up so many freaking doors that are going to allow you to build some really beautiful memories. I just heard, now watch me. Yeah. I love this for you. Pile number 3, I heard my snaps. So that pretty much signals the end of my reading. So let me know with a comment down below, or a like on this video if you're a little bit more shy. Did you resonate? If so, how? Did this motivate you? Did this help you increase your own self-value, even if it's just sprinkling a little bit of awareness on it? Because like, honestly, pile number 3, there's like zero worries about y'all. Like, y'all can handle your own. You got what it is that you need. Your ego, I think, is in a healthy place that allows you to be able to discern. And like, yes, confusion is around. You may still be in the beginning parts, closing off different cycles still, but like, all I gotta say to y'all is stay open, because the opportunities to cultivate more financial wealth and abundance and travel and friendship and memories and living is definitely on its way to you, if not already. So enjoy it to the fullest extent, because Lord knows, pile number 3, y'all are probably going to go through another transformation soon enough. Okay, so like give yourself some grace and enjoy life before you divulge on yet another Phoenix experience. I know y'all get what I'm saying when I mean that. So, yeah, that's it for me. I hope to see you in another pile or in another reading. Remember to subscribe if you haven't already. And pile number 3, thank you so much for allowing me to channel your awesome energy today. It was really cool connecting with y'all. So much love. Peace.